Is it just me, or is loneliness becoming so much more of an epidemic nowadays? Like, are we all just really lonely?
Couldn't do it. Tried to hold out, couldn't do it. Ended up start texting him. He's flat out ignoring me, which is his prerogative. I broke up with him, okay? I'm at a desperado level. I am below sea level.
You might disagree with this, but I personally think that I am too tired and too pretty to have to work on a Friday.
I didn't drink at all this week or spend any money, and I just feel absolutely useless and gay. And my happiness is at like an all-time low.
I'm not too proud to admit that I'm part of the reason why I'm single. Look, baby, sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's me.
She spent her whole phase being told all the good men would be gone by 44. She's 44. They're gone. Another one is 53 with a degree, a house, and golf skills, and still no boyfriend. And one just moved into a hostel because being single in Sydney costs more than being in a relationship. Welcome back to the modern judge. Let's go.
I used to get really offended when I was in my hoe phase and people were like, by the time you're ready to settle down, all the good guys are going to be taken and you're going to be old. And I would get so mad. I'm 44. I'm old. All the good ones are definitely taken. Joke's on me.
She heard the warning, got offended by it, ignored it, lived the punchline, then delivered it herself on camera at 44. The people who told her were not trying to be cruel. They were reading a timeline she had access to. She just didn't like the ending, so she skipped ahead anyway.
Girls have it rough out here, because why am I 5'3"? I have a college degree with psych and a business minor. I've been doing real estate for 6 years. I bought my own house at 23. I'm creative. I'm ingenuitive. I like to play golf. I don't go out. I literally sit at home and sew and make clothes for my friends, read, and I still don't have a boyfriend. It makes sense. Make it make sense. Computer, make it make sense.
She built a full resume, degree, property, skills, hobbies, stability, presented it to the camera, and asked why it hasn't produced a relationship. The resume is impressive. The question is genuine. And the answer, which nobody on the internet will say out loud to her, is that none of those things are what the man she wants is looking for when he makes his decision.
And to my future husband, where the fuck are you at? Because the bitch is starting to get impatient, okay? We're in our 30s now, and I'm just trying to figure out where you're at. Did you take the wrong shortcut? Because it's taking you quite a long time to get to me. Do you need a fucking map? Because I can give you one. I can share my location. Like, what are you possibly doing that is taking you this long to come and find me? Like, where are you? Where are you, nigga?
She is asking her future husband for his location. In a TikTok, he does not have the app. He is not receiving the message. He is somewhere being exactly who he is. And she has not found him yet because she is looking at the camera instead of the room. The map she offered, she needs it more than he does.
All right, excuse the way I look, but I just have to rant here. So I live in an apartment complex right now. We just moved from North Carolina to Georgia. I will insert here what happened. Or the oil cover of my car came off as I was driving down here from North Carolina. Well, I lost one screw, but I got it done like 3 hours later. But my thing is, what happened to men if they see a woman underneath her car trying to fix something, going up to them and saying, ma'am, do you need help? When I tell you the amount of cars and men that walked by and didn't say anything, just stared at me as I was trying to get these screws back on my car, when I don't even know how to work on cars. I had to call my brother from Louisiana to help me. Thank God for him, and to help me find which screw. Now that no one could help me with but him. But just the application of just putting this thing back on my car and no one asking to say, ma'am, can I help you? Some old lady just asked me, are you okay, sweetie? That's the first person that asked me out of the millions of guys that have walked by. Like, what happened to this world? I just guess I'm just so annoyed, frustrated, and have no hope anymore for these men. I don't know. It's just been a really crappy first 2 days here, just with everything happening. I just have a lot of stuff going on. But what has happened to this world? Do you see the sweat? Everything? Yeah. And no one even asked if they could help. No, I had 2 cars pulled in the spot next to me as I'm standing there. I'm literally standing there, dripping sweat, trying to get all my stuff together. And people just start backing in. Backing in. Oh, then let me pull forward and then scoot more so I can hit you as I'm trying to back in. And this was a man who just did this as I was finishing up. I don't know what I gotta do, but I'm just fuming inside that this is what this world has come to. Now, I'm not saying every single man, but at least the men in this apartment complex that I'm now living in. I guess I'll pray for y'all. Have a good day, ladies. And remember, this shows that you don't need a man. But still, just the thought of a man coming to see if you're okay when you have car problems. Guess just don't expect that anymore. At least in this apartment complex. Have a good day.
She fixed a car herself, called her brother from another state, sweated through it, got help by an old lady, and closed with, "You don't need a man," followed immediately by, "But still just the thought of one checking on you." Both sentences exist in the same breath. The first one is what she was told. The second one is what she actually felt standing there in the heat, with a broken oil cover and nobody stopping.
I do feel like love should be steady and love should be secure. But I also feel like healthy love, to me, looks like if you don't speak to me, your chest is tight. You're throwing up, your belly hurts. You thought it was the cheese that you had for lunch, but no, it's because we're on bad terms. I don't know. I feel like there's a part of love that is yearning, and that is, I want to speak to her. I want to be with her. I want to breathe her air, not again in like a weird obsessive way, but in like a I love her and I want to be near her type of way. I don't know. I just feel like that's what's wrong with the young men nowadays. That's why the girlies are.
She described love as both steady and nausea-inducing in the same sentence, secure and also physically debilitating when something goes wrong. She wants the stability. She also wants the stomach drop. Those two things exist in different relationships. The stable one doesn't give her the stomach. The stomach one doesn't give her the stability. She is asking for both from one person and calling it healthy love.
Single people can't catch a break. The true winners of this life are happy couples that live together. Because let me tell you why. They get to split everything. Depending on your dynamic, your man might be taking everything on, even better. But what do you mean I'm single and I have to pay every single bill? I have to pay rent. I have to pay council tax, groceries, internet. Oh my God, it's just never ending.
So I'm moving out of my flat today into a hostel for multiple reasons. The main one just being the cost and distance to work. Everyone talks about how expensive it is to live in Sydney, but I feel like what people don't talk about is like if you have a partner and live in Sydney, I feel like you'd be so much more comfortable, whereas me having to pay for everything on my own, cost of living just on my own, as opposed to like if I was sharing a room with someone, I feel like I'm being punished for being single. For example, if I was paying $350 a week for a room, a couple for that same room would probably pay about either $450 or $500. That's usually the range I see. If you split that in half, you're paying less than what I pay, and you have dual income. Whereas me, I'm like doing it all on my own. I'm not trying to be all woe is me, but after paying like so much in rent and so much in groceries and everything, I'm just like.
Then did the math on rent. Found that being single costs more per square foot than being in a relationship. Concluded she is being financially penalized for her relationship status. The irony. The stability she is paying a premium to avoid is the exact thing she is now paying a premium to replace. Today's file had the woman at 44 who heard the warning and lived the punchline. The 53-year-old with a degree and the golf clubs and no boyfriend. The future husband being asked for his location on TikTok. The car fix alone in the Georgia heat. And the woman moving into a hostel because being single in Sydney costs more than being loved. The modern judge has one final note. Every woman in today's file is paying the same price, just in different currencies. See you in the next one.